You gotta always follow your joy and always follow your fun, no matter what anybody says or thinks about it, because at first they're gonna be hating because they don't see the vision. But as soon as things start popping off, then it's, oh yeah, that's my niece, that's my daughter, that's my cousin, that's my homegirl, oh yeah, that's my sister. Bitch, I ain't seen you since graduation. You don't even know my last name. Let me talk my shit. Oh, let me talk my shit. Let me talk my shit. Oh, let me talk my shit. Yeah. What is up, y'all? It is your girl Nilla Allin. Welcome back to my channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and chill. So let me tell y'all, your girl has been going through some things, but I'm feeling better now. I was doing some reflecting and I was like, you know what? I gotta make this into a video because I was actually watching, what's his name? Dame Dash. Dame Dash just did an interview on the Breakfast Club and that shit was comedy. I was literally just watching that yesterday and he had said something in the interview and he was like, you know, I get to wake up and do whatever the fuck I want. Like, that's freedom. That's being rich. That's being wealthy, right? And I was like, damn, you know what? I am literally sitting in the middle of an answered prayer. Like, despite the fact that I was in a little funk, and I was talking about this on my Patreon, and my Patreon wafers helped me like so much through that little funk that I was in. And I feel like I've been having so much anxiety. I feel like I've been in my head so much these past few days. I just have not been happy, y'all. I have not been happy. And I gotta do a shout out to my Patreon wafers too. I'll do that in a second. But yeah, he was like, you know, I get to wake up and do whatever the fuck I want to do. And I was like, damn, I literally get to wake up and do whatever the fuck I want to do. Like, that is such a blessing. That is so tea. And I remember being at my 9 to 5 and wishing for this moment right here. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because it's like, I remember about like 3 or 4 years ago, I seen Dame Dash first interview on the Breakfast Club, and seeing that interview is actually what helped me a little bit to leave my job. And then I looked up and I was like, damn, it's been 3 years and I had no, bitch, I ain't worked a job in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, magical things happen when you take a leap of faith. I've been creating content full time, you know, every single day for the past 3 years. And I found myself in a little bit of a funk that I talked to my Patreon wafers about. I posted it on Patreon. If y'all want to subscribe to the Patreon gang, go ahead and do your booty do. And my Patreon wafers just helped me so much. But I want to give a shout out to my all-in and my booty wafers. Okay, my all-in booties. Definitely huge shout out to Maleva the Goddess. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She's a new booty. And then we have Tiny Bonnie. Hey, Tiny Bonnie Bookie. Shout out to Monique B, my girl Key Nicole, Miley, Princess, and Jazzy Faye, my girl Layla, Lulu. Of course, I can't forget Taylor, Tati,
Donna, Lynn, Pat, Lori, Shelly, Aaliyah, Rose, Brian, Darren, and Ulysses. Thank you for holding down the fort.
Yeah, I just have so many amazing Patreon wafers, and we were just talking in the chat. I'm literally in the wafer group chat right now. So we've just been, you know, shooting the shit, doing our booty do, and the Patreon is growing. So I love y'all so much. Shout out to my Patreon wafers, and shout out to Cheryl too. Hey Cheryl, I know Cheryl's watching me. I love you so much, girl. When I was watching that interview, I was like, it's been 3 years. Like, I remember 3 years ago when I left my job in 2022, I had made a video and posted it on YouTube. So today I want to make a video reacting to that old video, because I posted that video like hella freaking long ago and I haven't seen it, you know. I mean, I don't rewatch my old videos, so, but I wanted to do a video reacting to it, you know, with these new current thoughts. And also to just talk you through like my mindset of where I was at this point and what helped me to kind of leave my job and do my booty do. Let me pull it up on YouTube and I'll like tag it on the video too, so y'all can go see that video. So I actually had a question from one of my wafers on Instagram, and they were like, girl, how did you get to where you are now? And a lot of people don't even know that I used to work for an engineering company. I went to the University of California, San Diego, UCSD. Any Tridents, watch it, yes. So I did go to UC San Diego. I majored in human developmental sciences with a specialization in equity and diversity. Yeah, I had a strong background in math and science. So I did an internship over the summer at an engineering company. They loved me and they hired me back, you know, they hired me full time the next year. So I literally started working straight out of college. Also, that's another thing. When you have a positive attitude, when you visualize and you know what you want and you're confident that things are going to work out, things are honestly going to work out for you. A lot of times people are going to project their own experiences and their own insecurities onto you. Don't accept that and don't allow that to get into your vibrations. People were telling me, oh yeah, it's going to be hard, you know, post-grad. Oh yeah, it's going to be hard getting a job. Oh yeah, that post-grad depression going to get you. I was hired straight out of college. You know, I literally didn't even have a summer. I wanted to work. I wanted to make that money. And God said, that's what's going to happen because that's what you want, you know? So I literally did that internship. I graduated college. I think I was like 20. I might have been 20. I don't even think I was 21 yet. Either 20 or 21. I don't remember, but I graduated college, started, you know, working at an engineering company, making about $30 an hour. So it was a perfect way to get my footing, a perfect way to get my funds up. But okay, let me react to this video because this is going to be some tea. I was wasting my life, like I was wasting my 20s. I feel like I have all this potential, all this talent, all this creativity, and it's like I can't even really express who I am in this work environment. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Nilla here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you for being here, and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, relax. We got some stuff to talk about today. I'm gonna be telling y'all about how I left my full-time corporate job. Okay, hold on. I just gotta pause it right here because this is just not that it's cringe. Not that it's cringe. I just hate watching like old videos of myself because it's just like, wow, I am not this girl anymore. But you know what? Let me change my mindset. Because this is actually, it's cool to see the growth, you know? It's very cool to see the growth. Okay, let's continue. This time last year, I was waking up 6 a.m., going to work, sitting at a desk. Fast forward, I moved out my mom's. I'm happy. I wake up, I go to the gym, I can do what I love. I'm just in a much better headspace. That's really the most important thing here. I'm honestly the happiest I've ever been. I'm a full-time creator now. Nilla is all in.
Now I'm all in.
I definitely want to be able to explain to y'all my story and how I got here. So let's back it up a little bit. Let me tell y'all a little bit about my story. I grew up with pretty strict parents, and I feel like the goal was always to make it to a career. Like my whole life, I felt like I was told what to do, and I did what was expected of me. You know, you go to school, you go to college, you get your degree, and then you work, and then you die. And really, that's all it is to it. I went through high school, I went through college. My entire life, I needed a creative outlet. In college. Okay, let me pause right there because I'm gonna say this. Like, yes, that's exactly the formula, the Krabby Patty formula that I was taught. And I feel like, just to give more clarity, the reason why I had left my job is because I feel like my parents was always preaching, my dad specifically was always preaching stability, 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 right? And then COVID came and bitch wasn't shit stable. So it's like my whole life you're telling me I need to get a job because I need stability, yet, you know, COVID comes and everybody losing their job, everybody getting laid off, people getting cut. And so that was a turning point for me because it was like, well, damn, ain't shit stable. Not even jobs is stable. So you might as well fuck around and do whatever the hell you want to do because, girl, your 9 to 5 ain't even secure. So everybody telling me I shouldn't take this leap of faith because of, you know, there's no stability. Ain't no stability in this either. So just for further clarification. I started doing YouTube with 2 of my other friends, right? And so we made a channel called BTK Beauty, and that kind of got me through college for a while. Just having something else to focus on besides school, besides homework, all of that was fun for me. And then it got to a time where we stopped making those videos. And one thing that I notice about myself is if I'm not doing something creative, I will absolutely fall into a very deep depression. I needed another creative outlet in college. So I started writing songs again and I started writing raps. Now, my friends eventually caught on to my hobby and they harassed me into posting these raps on social media. So oh my God, I remember being so scared and so nervous. And I was like, okay. I was terrified. I begged my friend, I was like, can you record this rap for me? And I'm gonna post it on Instagram. And she was like, yes. So she recorded it for me. I did the rap. And I posted it on Instagram, 2019.
Look, let's get straight to the point. No pencil. We ain't got it complicated. Let's just keep
Y'all seen this before.
Last nigga lost me like a signal. You can have a dime, but I see you busy playing with the nickels.
And low-key got some views. It had some views on her. So I was like, oh. You know, everybody was gassing me in the comments. And like there wasn't one bad comment. And so I was like, I might be working with something here. Everybody was asking me to make music and, you know, do the thing. So 2019, I ended up dropping my first single. Okay. I never saw myself being an artist. It was kind of just like, I just needed to be creative. Someone coming from like my background and the way that I was brought up and raised, it was kind of like, always security first, job first. Plan A is security. And then if you want to do something on the side, that's cool. You can have a hobby. You can write raps in your free time, but that's never something you should sacrifice everything for. Leaving your good paying job to pursue a creative art is just blasphemy. Why would you do that? Let me add, okay, this is editing Nilla here. I gotta add this in. My parents told me, like, you know, from a young age, like, oh, you're gonna be a doctor, you're gonna be a lawyer, you're gonna be an orthodontist. And so my whole life, I would base my career off of what sounded good. I went to college, I majored in human biology. You think I give a fuck about some science? No, but the shit sounded good. I didn't know what else I wanted to do. You don't know what's possible until you get out in the world and start. I don't give a damn about science. So for a long time. Okay, let's pause right there because that is so real and that is so tea. Like, even with me working at an engineering job, I saw how proud my parents were to tell other people, like, yeah, my daughter works for this company, you know? And it was like, oh, wow. That company, yeah, is, you know, everybody knows that company. Just seeing how proud my parents were, I don't know, I just felt like I was kind of always going into things because it sounded good. I wanted to go into human bio because it sounded good. I got my engineering job and it was cool, but also too telling people, oh yeah, I'm a lab manager at so-and-so. And everyone's like, oh wow, you're really smart, you know, as opposed to me telling people, oh, I'm a content creator. Oh yeah, I'm a rapper. And they're like, oh, well, good luck with that. And do you have a plan B? Bitch, do you have a plan B? I never knew what I wanted to do because I knew that I liked writing raps, writing songs, and being creative, but I never saw it as a career choice. Now that I'm older, I realize, oh, so that's something that I'm passionate about. I want to be an entertainer. Now I can say that. But back then it was more so like, I want to entertain, but that's not an option. I'm in school. I got to finish school and I have to graduate. And let me pause right there and say too, the only reason why I grew comfortable with saying I'm an entertainer and I want to be in entertainment is because I was doing it and the shit was popping off and people saw that I was getting clout. People saw that, you know, it was working out. But there's going to be a point in time where when you first start doing something, everybody's going to start looking at you like you crazy. Like when I first started that YouTube channel with my two homegirls, my family was looking at me like I was absolutely nuts. And they were like, why are you going on the internet and making a fool out of yourself? I'll never forget my grandma had seen some video and I didn't know the answer to something. And she was like, well, you don't want to go on there and, you know, look stupid or look dumb. And I was like, girl, I don't give a damn about looking dumb. Well, I didn't say the D word. You know, I don't cuss at my granny. I didn't say the D word to my grandma, but I was just like, girl, if I look dumb, then I look dumb. But it was fun to make the video. You know, you got to always follow your joy and always follow your fun, no matter what anybody says or thinks about it, because at first they're going to be hating because they don't know what you're doing because they don't see the vision. But as soon as, you know, things start popping off, then it's, oh yeah, that's my niece, that's my daughter, that's my cousin, that's my homegirl, oh yeah, that's my sister. I ain't seen you since graduation. What you mean I'm your sister? You don't even know my last name. It's just a whole bunch of funny stuff that you're going to have to go through in the beginning, but you got to see the vision. You got to see it through. So I feel like once things started popping off, I was more comfortable to be like, wow, okay, yeah, I do this. But you shouldn't even need, you don't need that validation. As long as you believe in yourself, that's all you really need. Become something and use this degree, because I can't just graduate school and become a rapper, because then my parents would have spent all that money for nothing. You know, I started working in engineering. Was I happy? No, but everybody was proud of me because it sounded good. Half of my family don't even know what the fuck I did at my job, but they just like, oh, well, shit, Nene working engineering. It just sounded good. Little did they know Nene was getting harassed in the workplace. 2019, I did an internship for this engineering company. When I did the internship in 2019, I did my project, did great on it. Okay. I was already kind of hired from the company, but I went on an academic leave of absence. And in order to come back, you have to submit your transcripts and you have to have, you know, good grades, and then they hire you back to come full time. So boom, did my internship in 2019. I graduate college in 2020 and I start working full time in engineering. Mind you, I had no summer. Right after I graduated from college, I started working the next week. I was grateful at the time though, don't get me wrong. I was just grateful that I had a job. You feel me? But shit, that shit got old fast. And I'm falling. Okay, let me pause right here because yes, just because you want something more or want something new doesn't mean that you are ungrateful. You have to experience what you don't want in order to get to what you do want. You feel me? So it's like, just because I wasn't the happiest at my job doesn't mean I wasn't grateful for the opportunity, because I can tell how, somebody might see this and be like, oh, honestly, that's another reason why I left too, because it's like, there's so many people, there's so many kids who was dying to get into that company. And I feel like I was kind of taking up space. Like, not even like that, because it's like, what's meant for you is what's meant for you, but there's just so many people who wanted to get into this company who did have a passion for engineering, and I just kind of didn't, So it's like, although I was extremely grateful for the opportunity, it was like, okay, this was perfect to get my money up for some years and do my little booty do, but now it's time to do my booty don't, okay? And it's time to exit stage left. Girl, mind you, I was in the lab. I was cooped up. Can you believe all this goodness, all this energy, all this big booty bodaciousness was locked away in a basement in a lab? Like, absolutely not. I'm supposed to be in front of the camera. Like, I am so sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. But yeah, girl, like, it was just, I just knew that it just wasn't, it wasn't for me. It's like, okay, I'm just this cute little thing. Cute little young and supple, you feel me? Fresh burst of energy in the company. Crazy. And all I'm doing is sitting in a lab. Girl, and the thing is, they kept us in the basement. I was in the basement with no phone service. I couldn't get on Instagram. I couldn't get on TikTok. I couldn't even communicate with my friends, y'all. I was in I was just writing my raps in the basement. Okay? I worked as a lab manager, so my job was basically to make sure that the engineers had what they need to do, their booty do. Whatever test that they was working on, I needed to make sure that they had the equipment to get it done. And then I had to, just make sure items were getting calibrated and just a whole bunch of busy work, really. And it got to the point where I feel like I was wasting my life. I felt like I was wasting my 20s, because I feel like I have all this potential, all this talent, all this creativity, and it's like I can't even really express who I am in this work environment. So boom, it's 2020, right? I'm what? 21? I think I'm making $34 an hour at this engineering company. So in my head, it's like, I've already done what I'm supposed to do. This is literally... Okay, now let's pause too, because baby, let me tell you, this don't make no damn sense. I was living in my mama's house. I didn't really have I was helping my mama with rent every now and then, but that's like, one bill. I didn't have a cell phone bill, I don't think. Maybe I did have a cell phone. No, I probably did. Since I was working, I was probably paying my phone bill, and then I would probably help my mama out with rent, and it wasn't like a hard thing. Like, sometimes I would help my mama out, sometimes I wouldn't. Like, my mom she wasn't forcing me to pay rent. She said that she was kind of telling me to, but she wouldn't always implement it. So when I could, I did. But see, that's the thing, because it's like, I was making $34 an hour. I was living in my mama's house, and yet I was still broke, or I was still living paycheck to paycheck, so it felt like. So I'm like, how is it that I'm making good money, but I still ain't got no money? This don't make no sense. The point that I've worked so hard to get to. In my family, the end goal is to get in your career. Get a good paying job, stay there, and die there. So I had already made it through elementary school. I made it through middle school. I made it through high school. I made it through college. I made it to my career. I'm 21 years old. Okay, boom. I made it to the end goal. Now what? Mind you, y'all, I was in my 20s working with like a whole bunch of 40 and 50 and 60-year-olds. Like, I was the youngest. I was probably the youngest bitch in the company, honestly, in like the whole building. And it's like, oh, wow, like, you motherfuckers got kids. Y'all got grandkids. Y'all really feel like you have to be here. I don't. Like, I am a young, supple tenderoni. There is no reason why I need to be here if I don't have to. Now what? I'm just supposed to... Typically, a lot of people, they don't get into their careers until their 30s. They don't get into their career until some even their 40s. So me being 21, already in a career, working with other older, like all my coworker friends, they're all 40. I'm working with other older men, older women. And it's like, okay, so this is it? This is where my life stops? The older women were mean too. And waste this beauty and this talent and waste my purpose. I fell into this depression again in 2020. And then I see everybody getting on TikTok. And I'm like, well, let me see what the TikTok is working with. I got some experience with video creating and video editing. So let me see what the TikTok is talking about. Girl, I get on TikTok. Boom! my shit start doing numbers. At this point, I'm starting to realize whatever I do, I bring an audience.
She is
like,
hilarious.
No matter if it's rap, no matter if it's me and my pretty pictures. Because, okay, if you really want to get into it, like, before rap, I was an influencer. Like, I started influencing 2017, I want to say. Getting cute on Instagram, getting the brand deals, getting the free stuff.
So where I go, I'm getting free shit.
At this point in my life, in my 20s, and I'm posting these TikToks, and I'm not talking about no one time going viral. I'm talking about it got to the point where if I wanted to do some funny stuff, everything that I laughed at came to my head, I would record it, and that shit was going viral. And everybody was saying just how funny I am.
I need to get back to that place.
You know, just complimenting me how beautiful, how my energy just exudes through the camera. And I was like...
Her facial expression.
Like, okay, people liking me. Like, maybe this could be something. At the time, I'm not realizing that this is like I could get paid for it, or I could, whatever.
How long is this damn video?
Fun with it. But I'm getting so much love, so many followers, and all of that. And mind you, I'm still making music, so I'm like, okay, now how can I get the music to go viral like the comedy is going viral? And then I put the personality with the music, and then people started to eat it up because they're like, wow, she's funny, she has personality, and she can rap.
The insurance adjuster just offered me $3,200 for my car accident, but then I found out what they...
I like the Nilla, right? I saw potential there because I'm like, okay, I can grow this.
Let me add, I don't want y'all to think I just upped and left my job. I do have a savings account. Well, once the TikTok checks started to be a little bit fatter than the corporate checks, that's when I'm like, okay, I might have to move.
Okay.
I might gotta bow out.
I'm working a 9-to-5. I'm kind of just fucking around on the internet. Imagine if I put energy into it and I took this serious and I went all in.
Now I'm all in.
So one day I saw this one YouTube video. It was basically about building your dream life and being the person that you want to be and coming into that. They were like, write down who you want to be on a sheet of paper. It's crazy how you will let somebody else's opinions and doubts stop you from doing what you want to do. And we let other people project their feelings and their concerns and their fears onto us. It's like, hold on, I will never be this young again. I will never be this beautiful again. Do I want to waste my 20s and rot in a basement? Is that how I want my life to be? No one knows how I feel when I'm in that environment and I feel limited. I don't like feeling limited. And although everyone is like, oh, you know, $34, that's so good, that's so good. But that's still a limit on how much I can make.
And I'm completely aware that I had a good situation, and the average person might want to sit at a desk and collect $34 an hour and not take action and not build their own dream and build their own empire. They might not even have a dream. Honestly, you either take action to build your own dream or you spend all your energy building somebody else's. And I didn't want to spend another day building somebody else's dream when I have my own. At the end of the day, time is money, and I was wasting so much time.
You know, there's a limit on how much I can make at my corporate job. And honestly, $34 an hour, that still don't damn give me the lifestyle. That still don't damn near fund the lifestyle that I want to live. So is $34 an hour worth depression? For me, it was not. For me to be depressed, $34 an hour ain't shit. For me to wake up and be so low energy and be so exhausted and be
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here because this is really some tea. Oh, I'm really spitting, and I'm really, I'm gonna stop it right here. Where do I even want to start with this? I've been learning so much over the years, especially like me being on this spiritual journey and everything. Now I can better put into words of what I was feeling. So now I'm completely aware that everything in this world is just a physical manifestation of what's happening spiritually. Right? So it's like when I was at my job, I didn't feel free. My company was buying my time, right? Because that's really what's happening here. When you go to work, the company, your employer, they're buying your time. And so it came to a point where it's like, okay, I have this to do. I have this to do. I'm going viral on TikTok. People want music from me. So these brands are paying me
$1,000, $2,000 to post a 10-second video. So now it's like with me getting revenue from other places that brought me more happiness, I was like, my time is no longer worth $34 an hour for, you know, this company over here. It's just no longer worth it. So I woke up and I was low-key, like hating. You know, I had to wake up at 6 a.m. sometimes 5 a.m. And I was getting up and I was hating where I was spending my time. And so I had to have a real serious conversation with myself. And I was like, you know, well, what you gonna do? Is you gonna spend the rest of your life, you know, are you gonna let these years and this time pass you by and you're gonna miss out on what could have been? And then you're gonna be 40 talking to the younger intern about where you could have been and what you could have did. Y'all, that's another thing, because I met so many people at my 9 to 5 who found out about me on social media platforms. They came across my Instagram, because when I was working, I already had a lot of followers. Oh, and they was messy too. Some of them people at that job was damn messy. And so they found my account. And then like I had people talking to me like, oh yeah, I used to do this and I wish I would have done that, but you know, I started working here and X, Y, and Z. And so I was like, oh damn, like I can't let that be me, because I'll be damned if I'm 40 talking to the new 21-year-old intern about how I could have been a rapper and I could have been a YouTuber. Like that's not finna be my life. You feel me? I had to take action, and I also too had to reprogram my mind and my brain to accept something different, to accept a different reality, because it all comes down to your belief system. The same way how I believed I could graduate from a 4-year UC in 4 years, and I did that. The same way how I believed I could pass all my classes with provost honors, I did that. The same way I believed I would get a job right out of college, I did that. So why would me leaving my job and believing I'd be okay, why wouldn't that be any different? You know, why would that be any different? I've always been optimistic my entire life, and this was just another thing where it was like, nah, I can do it. I just got to put my mind to it. Shout out Nilla Allin. She got a song for everything. That's my song, All In by Nilla Allin. And I just did it because I didn't want another day to go by where I was regretting where I was putting my time and my energy. Because anyway, I could wake up 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. for somebody else, I could do that for myself. Like back then, I wasn't even going to the gym. I didn't have time. I didn't have time to do nothing but work. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't, being as creative as I could. I found time on the weekends to do my booty do and, post on TikTok and everything. And then I had made a pact to myself. I said, every single day I'm going to post on social media. And I did that. But then it got to a point where I was just so burnt out and my job was just not cutting it. It was just like, man, I'm getting these brand deals over here. Imagine how many more deals I would get if I would just put more of my energy and time into what's going on over here and fostering my community that I have, budding over here. You feel me? So I decided to take the leap of faith and I decided to walk away. There was one instance that happened in the workplace and I was not treated fairly. It was just a lot of disrespect happening. So girl, I went to HR and I put my time in. I actually went off on a leave of absence at first, and then I just never returned from my leave of absence. Let me tell y'all, literally the next day after I put in my leave of absence, I was on a flight to Cancun, okay?
Hawaii this week, next month Cancun. Crab and lobster dinners, I just bill it to the room.
And that's when I just started living my life, traveling, vlogging, doing everything that I wanted to do, and I felt so free. And now I feel like the abundance that is shown in my life and everything, the fact that I'm getting everything I want, the money comes when you don't chase it. You feel me? Because it's like, there's only amount of money you can make when you're just putting all your energy towards chasing it. But if you let the money be more so of a physical manifestation of the feelings that you're already feeling now, freedom, security, happy, because a lot of times we want more money for whatever feeling it's going to give us. We want to feel financially free. We want to feel the freedom. We want to feel the security. We want to feel happy. When I left my job, I was feeling all those feelings. I was no longer confined to that desk. I was no longer confined to my 9 to 5 and confined to that basement. So since I was traveling, I was feeling free. I was feeling, love. I was feeling happiness. I was feeling in control. And God just continued to bless me with more abundance because that money is just a physical manifestation of what I was already feeling. Does that make sense? These are all bars. These are like, I'm really talking that talk right now, friend. You know what? If you are somebody who has been kind of thinking about leaving their job, take this as a sign. Take this as encouragement, because if I did it, then you absolutely can too. Definitely have a plan. You know, don't just up and leave blindly, because I didn't do that. I did have a savings account and I did build up my savings. But let me tell y'all, girl, I came across this YouTube video of this girl who moved to New York with like $10,000 in her savings. And I was like, you know, like, I'm good. Anyway, she moved to New York off of $10K. I could leave my job off of whatever's in my savings, because, and at this point I probably had like maybe 30,000 saved up, like 25 to 30,000 saved up. And I wanted to get to 50,000. I told myself, when I get 50,000 in my savings, I'm gonna leave my job. I didn't get to 50,000. I seen that video of that girl who moved to New York off of 10K, and I said, oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just gonna make it do what it do, baby, because anyway, she could move, and New York is hella expensive too. So anyway, she could make a booty do happen off of 10K. Yeah, I'll be fine. And LA is expensive, but I don't know. I feel like LA and New York are both, you know, expensive. So also too, I watched a lot of YouTube videos to program my mind for success, because everything is just programming. Like, the reason why you believe the things you do, the reason why you value or don't, is because of your programming, how you were raised, who taught you what, the experiences that you had. So a lot of times, if we aren't in a situation, 9 times out of 10, it's because we haven't had the mentors and, you know, the leaders and the people to really teach us what we need to know to get to where we need to be. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos that reprogrammed my mind for success. I watched a lot of videos about why I should leave my job. I just did a lot of research. Business, I did a lot of content creator videos, people sharing their own experiences on how they left their 9-to-5s to pursue content and everything. And then of course I went on my spiritual journey, and then I started getting into a lot of videos regarding manifestation, the law of attraction, the law of assumption, the law of detachment. And now I've become, you know, low key, you know, I'm like a little master. You feel me? I getting what I want, because these are the laws that I have studied. And of course, I've just been strengthening my relationship with God, and God has allowed a way for me to do, you know, everything that I love to do. And I just feel like nothing can stop me, and that's how we should feel. Wow. Yeah. It's just, like I said, I did have my little funk, but after talking to my Patreon subscribers and really after journaling through it, meditating through it, it's like, you know what? I am so blessed. I am so grateful. And the reason why I got into my funk is because I was too busy focusing on maybe what I didn't have, or, you know, what hasn't manifested yet, when I really need to switch all of my attention on the blessings that have been flowing and what has been going right. How grateful I am to be in the position that I am in, and how great things are working out for me. And even when things don't seem to be working out, they're always working out for my greatest good, even if I can't see it right now, you know? So, you know, even down to what I experienced in my workplace, all of that happened so I can get to this point right here. Right? So, all right, that's my little yap session for today. I love y'all so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out that video if you want to see it. I'll have it linked somewhere, either on this video or in the description. Also, if you are a content creator, or you want to be a content creator, you want to know how I did my booty do, how I monetized my platforms, how I went viral and grew a community that I monetize off of, and how I haven't been able to work a job in 3 years, I have created a whole ebook on how you can go viral, build your audience, build your community, and monetize off of your community. So if you want that information, I'll have that linked in the description below. I'll also have it linked on this video. Also, another little bouncy. If you want to kick it with your girl, travel with your girl, and other like-minded wafers who are in they bag and who doing they booty do and who on they boss bitch type shit, then join us on our very first Nilla Allin wafer trip to Orlando, Florida. We're going to Disney World. Y'all know your girl love to travel, okay? So we are traveling. We're going to Disney World November 1st to the 5th. I'll have all that information linked in the description down below if you want to travel with a Nilla and book your spot, because we still have slots left. And if you can't make it, that's okay, because we'll probably have another one. I don't know when, maybe. I don't know when, but but if you have time and you can get the time off and you can get that PTO, girl, use that PTO and come travel with a Nilla, okay? Fuck that job, girl. Fuck that job and come travel. You know you don't want to be there no way. Prioritize your joy, okay? So we going to Disney World. You are invited. I'll have that linked. I love y'all so much, and I'll see you in the next little booty do.
Late baby, beauty and brains, code switch, gang crazy. Middle fingers up, yelling, fuck you, pay me. Gardena and Inglewood raised me. Gardena and Inglewood, baby. Beauty and brains, code switch, gang crazy.